Today is the 25th day of April 2023, and I'm calling on the Commissioner of the Data Protection Act of Parliament, Mr. Michael Wright. I also need Michael Wright's telephone number. It's hard to find Michael Wright telephone number. But for 4 years, from 2019 to today's date, Bakers Bay has been breaching the Data Protection Act because the law says nobody supposed to know these people that's coming in here, jet number. Nobody from the resort supposed to give these people names to no driver. The people themselves supposed to make that arrangement. The people themselves supposed to call the driver. That hasn't happened in 4 years in Abaco. At Bakers Bay, they called Charles Cornish. He's so greedy and grubbalicious and all for me, baby. He got a bunch of retirees, people that should have one foot in the grave. Some of them blind. They ought not be in the public service business. Some of them can't lift a bag if Jesus was to ask them to lift a bag. These are the people that Charles Cornish, through the crime that is committed against all of us. Because how we can have fair competition in Bakers Bay when they are breaching the Data Protection Act of Parliament, and the government gave the Commissioner of the Data Protection Act, Michael Wright, the job to protect these people's private information. And so far, we haven't seen Michael Wright, and they do it every day. We have a Cherokee here, people coming on these jets and asking, how did you get my name? Who gave you my jet number? How did you know that? I didn't want nobody to know I was coming here. I'm slipping in and I'm slipping out. How did you get my private information? This is the conversation that the people that coming on the jet is asking Charles Cornish and Bakers Bay driver at Cherokee, and they were doing it for years. And nobody is checking it. I'm calling on Michael Wright. At the Abaco Club, you imagine you're a taxi driver. And the drivers that work for the Abaco Club, they have not been on the lineup in 4 years. Boy, you know God has to be good, but he ain't God. It's a bunch of thieves and crooks at the front desk at the Abaco Club. They are breaching the tourists' rights, and they're breaking the laws of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, because those cartels that has befriended Matthew Taylor, this intelligent thief. Matthew Taylor, he's a crook. You believe he's smarter than everybody with his little black self. Every time you see him, he got more sense than everybody. He's bringing these drivers and acting as he's a taxi driver. Matthew got the people jet information. He got the people name, and he's showing up at Cherokee Air like he's the man, like he's the it. No other taxi drivers can get any of the Abaco Club job because they're breaking and breaching and breaking the law, because they're a bunch of thieves and crooks. They are in-house trading. What I call it, in the law in this country, that's what Martha Stewart went to prison for getting inside information. This is the same thing that the Abaco Club, the Great Abaco Club, Winding Bay, has been doing for over 4 years. They are giving Matthew Taylor and the rest of those drivers that do not go on the lineup, they're coming to the airport with signs with these people's names, and these people don't want nobody to know they're coming. So the people are engaging them. That's my name. But how did you get my name? because of the crooked, thieving ways of the Abaco Club and Catherine, Chrissy Hall. We know who Chrissy Hall is. She ain't no good. I could go to the Supreme Court and tell you about Chrissy Hall. She put a Negro gate at the crossing. Eastern Shore. Chrissy Hall put 2 there. She don't like me, and I don't like her. I am a Bahamian. I'm born in the Bahamas. I have the rights to the tree of life. I have the rights as the president of the Abaco Taxi and Allied Workers Union to stop the corruption. Chrissy Hall, Catherine, none of them have the rights to block out all the taxi drivers by giving these people information to their particular favorite taxi drivers. How could we have fair competition when the Abaco Club gives Matthew Taylor and the rest of them crooks and thieves these people data information? It is against the law. It is a crime that anybody should give anybody the people flight number, the number of people they coming, without the people dealing the wreck. The people themselves, that's why the law says first in line. The people themselves have to engage with Matthew Taylor, not the Abaco Club, giving Matthew Taylor and their 4 other favorite drivers these people data information. It is against the law. It is a crime, but it continues to happen. How Kai Mills, as the president of the Abaco Taxi and Allied Association, could have fair and impartial transportation that everybody can have a piece of the pie when you have people at the Abaco Club, Grain Tiller Club giving Omri McIntosh, the Delphi Club giving other people. They're the only ones that making $500 before 12 o'clock, and they've been doing it for 4 years. That is why I joined a union to stop the crime. I'm calling on Michael Wright to stop Matthew Taylor, Omri McIntosh stores from committing the Data Protection Act law. It's a crime against all of the taxi drivers, and I need it stopped. Michael Wright, Commissioner of the Data Protection. For Jesus Christ's sake, man, do your job.